Are you guys ready? TheDuelLogs. Top 10 waifu cards, please? Wait. Top 10 waifu cards that destroyed your nofap. Top 10 cards that are too good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Can you make top 10 female cards? Top 10 most popular female waifus? Top 10 waifu cards? Top 10 waifu cards? Top 10 illegal waifus? If you pause and look at the tabs, you see big titty anime girls, Akiza Rule 34, Dark Magician lewd cosplay. Those were Easter eggs for people who wanted to look at tabs. People found them immediately. Do the video muted and comment it live? No, I'm just going to.
In this video, we'll go over the top 10 waifus in Yu-Gi-Oh! And rate them in order of which one is the most waifu, and also which ones are actually good cards. And at number 10,
If you wonder why my voice sounds dead, it's because I'm doing this in my normal voice. If you watch my secret streams at night, I sometimes do this voice because it's so much easier to do.
we have Silent Magician. This card was really good in Duel Links, but didn't really see play in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Silent Magician is a very attractive woman in a revealing outfit.
Yeah.
And at number 9, we have Fairy Tale Snow. This card got banned for being too good in Thunder Dragon decks, and is a furry.
Now it's banned for
I'm sure
topologic
some
plays.
of y'all like this stuff. And at number 8, we have Ib.
Ib, the World Chalice just this year.
Justikar. People yell at me in the comments when I pronounce this card's name wrong. So
They do.
I just call her Ib in videos when she shows up. Now, despite being the reincarnated form of Ningirsu's sister, after she committed suicide to stop an evil fairy who took over her body, Ib is a very attractive woman in a revealing outfit. She is also currently banned. And at number 7, we have Tour Guide from the Underworld. Now, she's what we call a legal lolly, and if you don't want to end up on some kind of watch list, I wouldn't recommend looking that up. She also has one retrain, which uses her art, plus an alternative art card, which they only do for certain good cards. She's also an attractive woman, but she doesn't have a revealing outfit.
I would argue it's
And at
somewhat
number 6,
revealing.
we have Effect Veiler. Another card people like to yell at me when I say his name in videos. Effect Veiler is a good card that sees lots of play over the years. He's also a very attractive woman in a revealing outfit.
Yeah.
Number 5, Trickstar Licorice.
Licorice? Why is Licorice on this
in
video?
a cute outfit. Number 4, Hita the Fire
Oh,
Charmer
she
of
makes
Blades.
sense.
An attractive woman in a revealing outfit. Number 3, Konami's favorite waifu, who has an entire archetype dedicated to drawing more fan art with her in different outfits. Number 2, Ash Blossom's Joyous Feet. And at number 1, we have the Summon Sorceress, the best
Oh yeah,
banned
Summon
waifu on
Sorceress
this
is the
list,
best waifu card.
which shows Konami doesn't understand how broken special summoning any card from your deck can be on a generic Link 3 monster. And that concludes the top 10
Therein
waifus.
concludes my video.
Did you know, fun fact, 97% of my audience is male, which is why I chose Akiza as this channel's mascot.
It's actually only 94% now. I have a larger audience of female viewers ever since I released this video. But then again, this video was released, what, in 2020? So it was 2 years ago. In the past 2 years, my female audience has gone up a little bit. So it's only 94%, which is actually very high.
Because I knew who my audience was, and I thought that might get more subscribers.
There's a female audience? Yeah, there's a lot of
I also
female people who
created a
watch my video.
legitimate top
Female
10
people.
waifu video as the first ever top 10 on this channel, for similar reasons to choosing the mascot. I thought it would get more easy views. It didn't really work out that way, and I think I might have that video.
I did. I thought, whatchamacallit, you know how they say sex sells, and that's how you get views. And I was like, I need views. I'm going to make some of these kinds of videos. They didn't do very well. They all got demonetized. And I was like, I'm just going to stick to normal videos instead.
Video hidden on the channel. Or maybe it's still there. I don't know. I rarely delete my old videos. Now, this video was obviously a joke. Let me go back to my fake YouTuber voice for a second, since
My fake
I'm
VTuber
sure you guys
voice.
don't enjoy my real voice.
YouTuber voice.
It's very monotone and listless. Because this is my most requested top 10 topic out of anything.
It
And
is
I
my
kind of
most
have an
requested
internal
top 10
list of
topic out
topics
of
that I won't
anything.
cover for various reasons. And on that list, I'll show it on screen to show
These are my videos I will not do. Top 10 ideas done by other YouTubers. I'd kind of ignore this one. Top 10 waifus? Yes, I won't do that. Top 10 card artwork theme? I still won't do that because I think artwork theme videos are dumb. Top 10 decks and or engines? I do engine videos now. Once I make a video on every single engine, I could probably do this. Top 10 anime thing here. I don't watch the anime, so I can't do those. And top 10 my favorite thing here. Those are boring videos.
how short it is. And most of them are very general things, like don't cover ideas that have been done well by other YouTubers, don't do artwork, decks, etc, etc. And the only one that has a specific video topic listed is the waifu list. And the reason
You did anime effects videos? I did do anime effects like once or twice. But like people ask for a whole bunch of other things. They're like, you should do top 10, you know, like boss monsters from the anime. And I was like, I don't know what the boss monsters are from the anime. But I do know there are some very powerful anime cards.
for that
I don't know who used
is
them.
because I kind of already did it, and because it's kind of a cringy idea.
It is
You
cringe.
see, if you make the video seriously, that would just be judging the aesthetics of big-breasted anime women, which sure, certainly has its own appeal. That's not really the kind of videos I make. The only way to do it would be just to talk about female cards, which happen to be good, but that seems like kind of a lame idea. And I'm all for niche video topics that compare how good certain cards are based on really niche things, like the one I did on the top 10 cards that require you to pay 1,000 life points to activate their effects. It's a very niche topic.
Top 10
It
big-breasted
would be
goth
kind
anime
of the
women.
same way I would do the waifu video. And I just don't think that's a fun idea. When I could
Yeah, they're
instead
boring.
group cards together based on mechanics or archetypes or other things that have to do with their effects or stats of the card, and not their artwork. Which kind of leads into one of my other video ideas I will not cover. Idea I will not cover, number 3. Top 10 card artwork theme here. I sometimes get requests to talk about certain card artworks and compare them in that way. But that's very subjective. And I have done a video like that in the past.
Top 10
I have
ghost
a
trick
video on
cards
the
for
channel
Halloween?
called
No.
Top 10 Cool Poses or something, which is entirely a list created based on the artwork of certain cards.
Top 10 cool poses. Let me see if I can find that one.
And I didn't
Top 10
really
cringe
like
cards.
making that list. It was a fun idea, but it wasn't very fun to actually put that idea into practice. Now, I know I put out a lot of top 10 videos on weird
Here's why I won't do a video on ghost tricks, because the ghost tricks suck. So like making a top 10 on them, nobody cares about what the ghost tricks do. We will do top 10 videos on specific archetypes, because like we did one for math mechs and stuff. That's because there's actually something to talk about with math mechs. For the ghost tricks though, they're not popular and they're not good. So like the best thing you could do is like, hey, ghost trick shot allows you to use it as an engine without having to use ghost trick cards. Hating the ghost trick enjoyers.
but
I
that's
love
because
ghost
I
tricks,
like
but they
to do
suck.
those things.
They're not popular.
If anyone has watched my channel from before 2018, when I started doing nothing but top 10s,
You doing for
you
ice
know
barriers?
I did nothing but gimmick decks for
Well, it's because
5
ice barriers
years.
are funny.
I like Yu-Gi-Oh! For really weird and gimmicky reasons. I don't actually care about playing competitively in the slightest. I also haven't played in person since 2013. Everything I do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was
I do kind
online,
of want to go to a
even though I
YCS
have
though.
the means and funds
But
to
only if I can
play any
convince a
card I
friend to go
want,
with me.
or any deck I want. I just don't care. I do care very strongly about making a video on the top 10 monsters who have 0 attack and defense.
There
though.
is no ghost trick community.
That's
Shut
a
up.
fine idea to me. It's a gripping topic based on the card's stats and effects, and not their artwork. And I also think these kinds of videos perform better too.
He's kind of pretentious.
Self, personal prep, every single just to putting in the Yu-Gi-Oh community about
Top
the
10
tier
decks
system
and
that's
or
used.
engines. Ooh, I want to hear this one.
No, is top 10 decks and or engines. You see, I have broken this rule a few times, as I have a video on this channel called the top 5 tier 0 decks, but those will always be the exception to the rule. You see, there is so much misunderstanding in the Yu-Gi-Oh community about the tier system that's used, and people will arbitrarily assign tiers to their decks, and there's lots of misinformation about which decks used to be tier 0 out there. When I originally researched the topic, I watched a whole bunch of other videos on it, and there was almost no research done in any of those other similar videos. And they were very obviously just talking based on memories.
Dude, when I made the top 5 tier 0 decks video, I originally didn't do the video for the longest time because I was like, other people have already done the video. Like, that's a topic that's been done to death already. And then while I was going through it, I was like, you know what? Let me look into this. Maybe I can add something to it. So I went and looked, and I watched other top 10 tier 0 videos. And they were all... They didn't do research. They would even talk about some decks that were tier 0 that weren't ever tier 0. And I was like, oh my god, it is obvious nobody did any research for any of these videos, so the idea has basically never been done before. So that's why I did mine.
Hearsay online. So I actually looked back at records and spent about a week just looking up information.
Oh yeah, that was
and I came to the conclusion
it's so hard
that
to find
there were
information
so
on past events.
few tier 0 decks, i.e. decks that require more than 65% representation at top events, and there are just also very few records of early Yu-Gi-Oh tournament results. So my video on the topic is probably the only one that has actual research put into it. And even though it was only 5 spots on the list, the video was half an hour long, because videos done about decks or engines require you to talk about multiple cards in the video in order to give a big picture. And if you have to talk about...
That's a big reason why I don't like to do videos on whole decks or engines. Because you have to talk about... Because like the way I do videos is I pretend my audience doesn't really have every card in the game memorized. So I explain how cards work if they're introduced. And I remember I'm training some people for a new channel I'm working on, for a new TCG. And the guy sent me in this list. He's like, hey, I have this dude. He's a friend of mine. He's working on this video. It's for all banned cards in this card game. And it's there's like 40 cards, but it's probably too much for one video. We're probably gonna have to split it into 2. And I was like, hold up a second there. You said there's 40 of them, and you're only gonna make 2 videos out of this? And he's like, yeah, and it's only like 3,000 words. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Because here's the thing, 3,000 words is about a 15-minute video. 3,000 words is like the minimum my scriptwriters have to meet when they're making the top 10s. And it's a very easy minimum to hit when you're writing a top 10. It's like not even a problem. They don't have to ever worry about word count, because just writing the top 10 naturally will get them to 3,000 words. And they were at explaining around 20 cards and barely hitting 3,000 words. And I was like, there's no way you're doing this correctly. So they sent me the script and I looked at it and I was like, no, I would not accept this from any of my script writers. I was like, so in this portion right here, there's only one paragraph that explains why this card is banned. However, in the paragraph, it mentions 5 cards by name without explaining what any of them do, and also explains 3 separate effects without explaining what any of those effects do, and also explains 2 different combo decks without explaining how those decks And of course, there's a couple of other staple, combo like lines that the writer just assumed everybody knew. And I was like, no, what you would have to do here is go in and explain what all these cards do, explain what these combos do, explain what these decks do. And you also have to do these other things too, because my explaining ban list videos are a little bit more in depth than that. And because they were like, there's no way they're going to be able to only do 5 cards in a spot. And I was like, no, they should be able to easily do 5 cards in a spot if you just follow my rules on it. And they looked at the stuff and they're like, oh, okay. It's just like the way I do videos is just very different from how other people do it. And that's why they're so successful, because I like dumb them down so much and I explain everything. And also because of the way I do stuff, it's very hard to do videos on decks and engines.
The ins and outs and combos of a whole bunch of different cards.
So treat the viewer as if it's their first video on the topic. Yes, exactly.
Bad, That just makes the video itself
Just
so
pretend you're
much
customer
longer.
support when writing
So
scripts.
the reason I don't
Yep.
do them is because those videos are just too long.
Like, it's not a hard thing to do, but you do have to remind new script writers to get into that mindset. And then once they get into that mindset, it's usually like they don't have a problem with it. It's just like the first couple of scripts they write, sometimes they just don't explain enough. Like, even for the Magic channel, I had to go in and it's like, hey, you see this keyword right here? You didn't explain what it did. And this one over here, you didn't explain what this keyword did. And also this combo, you have to explain what this combo is. You can't just explain it and expect people to know what it is.
And they would take too much time to make. Alternatively, I could just knock them down to a top 5 list, which is something I could probably do in the future. Although I like to keep these videos as top 10s to be more consistent, and top 5s are usually
you're
only
explaining to
done
your
if there
grandma.
literally isn't 10 topics.
The way I think of it is like, pretend you're like one of your good teachers that you had in school. It's like, how did they used to explain information to you? If you never had a good teacher, well, then you're kind of shit out of luck. But like, if you've ever had a good teacher before, usually they explain things in a little bit more detail and not in a monotone voice.
To talk
And they
about,
give you examples
like in the case
outside
of
of
the Tier 0 video.
the syllabus.
Or if I'm just too lazy to think of 10 topics. And I might as well finish about the rest of the topics that I rarely do, which is what I should probably rename this list to myself, because I have done videos on a lot of these topics, to be perfectly honest. Anyways, top 10 anime thing here. People like to ask me to make videos about the anime topics.
I don't watch
relating
the
to
anime.
Yu-Gi-Oh
It's
anime,
for children.
and I do have a handful of anime-related topics on the channel. But
Thank you
here's
for
the
dumbing it down
thing.
for us plebs, Mr.
I
Logs.
don't
You're welcome.
actually watch the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I watched the first season when I was a child, and I kind of softly rewatched it with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series, and that's the only anime I know about to a moderate extent. I never watched GX. Everything I know about that series is from playing all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force games.
We should do a watch-along of 5Ds. Honestly, it's your videos that got me to Yu-Gi-Oh! You do a really good job of keeping it simple when the game is so incredibly complex. Yeah, like, I do that very intentionally on purpose. Because that I'm hitting my target audience. You see, I'm trying to convert more people into being Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans to artificially increase my fan base, rather than trying to hit existing people in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan base. I think it's better to try to convert more people into the thing, rather than trying to just, cannibalize the people who are already there.
I never actually watched 5Ds, which is ironic considering the mascot of my channel. And I never watched
I'll
any
watch
of the
it if
ones
it's on
afterwards.
Amazon Prime watch party.
I tried to watch some episodes of 5Ds and some episodes of GX.
It's boring.
But that was done as an adult. And those
GX is kind of interesting, though, honestly. GX is way more entertaining than 5Ds. Please don't watch dubbed 5Ds. Heck yeah, I want to watch dubbed 5Ds. Who wants to watch dubbed 5Ds?
they're very obviously children's shows. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to watch children's shows.
I pretty much got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of your videos and how you explain everything in detail. Didn't touch the game in 10 years. Had no idea about anything, and now I'm addicted to MD. Good. You see, you're like my target audience. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been around for so long that if you just have like a passing interest, you can watch my videos and kind of understand what's going on.
Some of them can be quite enjoyable as adults. Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example.
Avatar's
That's
great.
a children's show, and it's a very good show at that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just isn't the kind of show that appeals to me anymore. And I do watch a lot of anime. And my favorite genre of anime,
Shut up.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Animes, or they only watch my videos that are recommended to them because they think the topics sound interesting. And a topic about my personal favorite cards, for example.
I want to hear
See,
this.
I actually went to college for psychology. Favorite X things.
Oh, what's...
I kind of
How come he doesn't make videos about his favorite X thing? I want to hear what past me from 2 years ago thought about this.
explained that one earlier and why I don't make videos about artwork themes. It's because making videos about my personal favorite things kind of goes against the psychology of why people watch top 10s. You see, I actually went to college for psychology.
No way.
Before I dropped out to focus on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if psychology is the right word for it, but what I've noticed through my own personal market research,
No way.
people don't care about your opinions on things
Nope.
unless they already know who you are or like you. And since 70% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel,
Whoa.
that means the majority of my viewers don't know who I am and probably have only watched a handful of my videos.
Uh-huh.
Or they only watch my videos that are recommended to them because they think the topics sound interesting. And a topic about my personal favorite cards, for example, or my most nostalgic cards, won't appeal to the majority of my audience because they don't care about my opinion. Nor should they. I'm not saying this like it's a bad thing. Having so many new viewers to the channel means you have a healthy, growing channel. If anything, you're probably in trouble if you have more subs watching your videos than newer viewers. So, I'll make my favorite X Things videos occasionally, for fun, but I never intend for them to do well, and they usually never do. It's kind of the same reason I make the custom card review series. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. Although making a custom card review is so much more time friendly to me than it is to create a full top 10 video that I know won't do well. Especially since I run 2 channels and I have 4 editors to get videos to. I don't really have the time to...
I only had 4 editors back then? What were my channels? This was 2020, right? What were my 4 channels? It was this one. It was the World of Warcraft channel. And I think I started the D&D channel in 2020. What was the 4th one? What was the 4th channel? Does it show in the comments? Let's see. Back then, it was... Oh, it was the Azeroth Weather channel. I remember now.
I put a whole bunch of time and effort into a vanity project, which is why the vanity projects I do are usually ones that can be done efficiently in a timely manner.
No, it wasn't Hearthstone. It wasn't Magic yet. It wasn't the Clip channel.
Gimmick deck. And it's also why Rescue Rabbit takes a year for me to make, because that is purely a vanity project, and none of my editors know actually how to make those videos.
Nope.
Because it's surprisingly editing.
Only 4 editors? Oh my god, I was such a baby back then. I was a little baby doing baby stuff.
Intensive. Okay, and I only talked about all of these things to make the video look over 10 minutes, so that I could fool people into thinking this video was legit.
Yeah,
if they were basing it on just the watch time.
Episode 4
because
when?
my normal
Never.
videos are 10 to like 25 minutes long.
How many editors do you
And
have
if I just
now?
made the joke video.
I have... Let's see. For my editors, we have the World